Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Ooh. I should probably lock that rotation up. Hang on. I guess you guys can't see it anyway. Okay. Got my water. Got my iPad. Got a little snack if I need it. I have been a little bit tired today. I don't know exactly how long I'll be streaming. This might end up being a shorter one. But, we'll see. But without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hang on. Bloop. Hello, friends, old and new. This is Tobias of Tantalus here once again. Doing more art, as always. I send out a post on Blue Sky asking for suggestions and themes, something I should draw. And this week, the words that were given to me were deep sea creatures and seafoam. I think I have an idea of what I might want to go for with that. Try to incorporate both those ideas. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna have to double check how off my audio is. Usually when I'm listening to music, there is a delay between what I hear and then what goes through my microphone. So I might try to set up some sort of audio delay so those sync up better. But anyway, let's stop staring at a blank screen by, well, I guess first I have to give a bit of a blank screen. To bring up Pose It. Alright, let's see what we got here. First things first, we're going to turn this on. Zoom in until we get our 3x3 grid that we can kind of measure out there. I don't have my fan pointed towards me. That's why it feels so hot in here. You know, that and the fact that I use a closed door with a very warm PC doesn't help either. Is all that coming through my mic? It appears so. Maybe I can turn that down a little bit. Hang on. Is that still coming through? I don't think so. I think that should be good. I can't pet you on the desk, cat. I'm trying to train you that the desk is where you don't get pets. This is the one place you'll kind of leave me alone. I'll pet you if I'm relaxing in bed or something. Can't do this right now. Pincher, hello, sorry. I was just taking a mouthful of like bread. Just munching on something. How are you? Yeah, exactly. Well, I wasn't apologizing for having bread. I was just apologizing that you caught me right as my mouth was very full. Anyway. Ba 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 da ba da ba 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 ba. I don't know if my microphone audio is off sync from what's playing in the background, but is what it is. Alright, let's see, what are we doing here? First question. With this is there no music in the background? It says it's playing. I have to wait for the next song. You can't hear that. Okay. Oh, no, you are right. It is turned off of all of the audio channels. Oh, do I have this backwards? I think I have this backwards. I want this sound active on all of the channels except the last one. I had the audio only playing on the last one. Okay. Okay, now I probably don't want that music that loud. We can just kind of in the background. Maybe around there. I'll have to figure out that audio later. Well, that just means the VOD up to that point will only be the the music. That's fun. Well, no. Never mind. Again, I'm trying to think through all the check boxes. The VOD will have the music in it, along with all of the other sources that were active in track 6. Okay, I think we're good. Now, anyway, that's for this guy. So the theme was deep sea and lore, earth, not lore. Deep sea and seafoam. So I am thinking, gonna have a little bit of a silly stand in here. I'm thinking we are going to have a merman. Also, he is going to have an anglerfish friend. That he's hanging out with. So we can have a big old tubby guy that he's okay. I see. So we do have to bring him closer. So we are going to have to make him a little bit smaller comparatively. Ooh. Then he's gonna be a merman. So his legs are just actually gonna come back here and a tail. And so these controls are a little bit janky sometimes. Even bring him down just a little bit. And he is also just going to be staring off away a bit, actually. Because since he's going to be a deep sea merman, I think I'm going to end up making him blind. I'm also going to, if I continuously save, I think something else we can add. Yeah. I don't want to attach it. Can't touch it over there. Thank you. I'm gonna put a ring right here to stand in as a kind of mouth. I need to look up a reference. What does an anglerfish even look like? Or a football fish. Cat wants to be let out. Ew. Yeah. They're kind of ugly, huh? Anyway. I'm sorry, that's rude. They are not conventionally attractive, but they have their own charm. I look up football fish and it has some pictures of they dropped a soccer ball in an aquarium and some of the fish are knocking it around. That's adorable. going to save this one more time, but I think we can take a screenshot there. And that should be pretty good. Drop that while we swap over. Should be pretty good to use as a reference. Top, grab the brush. This. Bring my reference. Doesn't have to be an exact anything. It could be its own creature at the end of the day. It's pretty flat there. It's a little bump. And kind of curves up. But then tapers down. I have this tail kind of curving around. So that things can stay in frame. Big old bug eyes. think I want this a little further forward, maybe. Or even curving upward. I don't know. If he's gonna be blind, I don't want it looking like he's looking at the light. So I'm trying to avoid having the face point toward the light or the fish's face. Just gonna make a separate one here. Gonna have little teefies. Okay, some big teefies. Try to figure out some fins down here. Just kind of Boop-a-doop-a-doo. I'm gonna do the same thing. Like here. Have a little bit more of a like spiky splay. So how's this going? They all normally just kind of fan out. Okay. A bit longer as they go. Something like that. Or actually, what their fins do is they curve in a little bit. Then they splay out into the spikies. Oh, sorry, I was on a different screen. I didn't see my chat messages. Hello, hello. I'm actually not sure I ever figured out how to say your name. Kaikura? Kaikura? How do you say that? Yeah. As for streaming from Procreate, I just downloaded an app on my PC. It's just called EasyCast. Just Kai or K. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it's just called EasyCast. So you download it on your PC and then also put it on your iPad. And if they're connected to the same Wi-Fi, then if you have the app running on both devices, it will detect when you start streaming off your iPad. That's how I have mine set up. I think there are other ways to do it more directly. I don't know. The one downside to this setup in particular is it will just capture your whole iPad, so sometimes I have to switch apps or something. I don't think I have anything doxing on my screens, but it's comes a question just in case. So I have my little switch to hide that real quick when I need to. I think our music stopped. We should restart that. Is my stream cutting in and out? Dang it. Ba ba ba. I know it said my bitrate was a bit unstable earlier. So it says it should be good now. From what I can tell, is this stable now? I think it is. I also know Twitch, just as the whole site, I think, was having some issues earlier today. So it might not be on my end. Of course, with streaming, it might still entirely be on my end. It's sometimes hard to tell. All right. Web between these. Now, if I was really smart, I would have set up just like a mirror symmetry with the fin. But oh well. Maybe a little bit of asymmetry adds to the deep sea charm. Alright, got an ad coming up in a couple minutes. Maybe we'll add another little spiky fin. Down below on here. Alright. Had gills right here, but honestly you can't really see a lot of those behind the fin there. So I'm not gonna worry about that too much right now. I think I'm gonna combine those. Then start working on the guy. I don't actually want as strong of a jawline, I think. Oh, come on. Gonna get some of the basics down. And then we can figure out exactly how to make him maybe a little bit more fishy afterward. Maybe I should have spread out the hands a little bit more if we wanted to give him like webbed fingers. Would have had more space to do that. I think this arm needs to go the other way. Oh, clicked out of the thing. Up. Oh, I did again. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust how I have the chat view set up to see if I can do it a little bit better, but it doesn't look like a lot is happening. So, we're still just going to go ahead and leave it out of this, as is. Alright, then he's a fishman. So his tails are actually going, his legs are actually going to come together a bit. To a tail right here. I feel like this can come out a little bit more. Be a bit more rounded. Give a smoother curve to the tail. Unstable again. I do not know. No, yeah, it is. It does say unstable. Average stream bitrate is too high. These are super stable. Let me look at settings. The question is, can I change my bitrate while I'm streaming? I haven't actually looked at that a lot. I don't know what an average bitrate is. Right now it says it's set to 6,000 kilobytes per second. I don't know if I drop that to like 4,000. I don't know if that stabilizes it at all. Drop it to 4,000, okay. Okay, that should be at 4,000 now. I don't know if that is gonna smooth anything out. Now it says my bitrate is excellent. I help with a delay issue too, potentially. Yeah, we'll see. Streaming is always just a game of figuring it all out as you go. Alright, so from here we may actually... What does that look like? I still feel like his tail could be a little bit bigger. Like it was coming out from like here and curving around. Yay, testing, testing. We call it an art stream, but half of it is just troubleshooting. Just active troubleshooting. Maybe even his arm could be a little thicker. Or maybe not, if he's down in the deep abyss. I wouldn't have a lot to lift, would need a lot of muscle probably. gonna curve out a little bit wider so that we can get a wrap, not wrap that around, so that it does wrap around. Also, this tail could be a little bit thicker. Well, depends how much I want to do. Tail could be thicker, but I also feel like don't need to adjust this to make it a little bit longer. Maybe. Yeah, we'll go with it. I'm gonna bring this back to trace out his eyes. I'm gonna trace out the whole eye socket. Give him big anime eyes. And he's smiling. He's just happily playing with his friend. Also, my sound thing definitely isn't going off when I get a new chat message that it's supposed to do. So I apologize for not seeing things. It's not a stream without tech difficulties. Is Procreate set to bicubic or bilinear? I'm actually not sure. I know what those words mean. Where with the anti-aliasing, particularly when I transform and adjust things, gets a little fuzzier. I forget where to look at that. I also know the one of the differences is in the brush itself that I use. Like you can see, this is pixely. If I use this other one, oh. I feel like I've used this one before, and its anti-aliasing was a little bit better. Maybe I was using it on a larger scale. Maybe not? I don't know. Okay. Oh. The arrow at the top left will tell you on the bottom. Oh, and this. Oh, it's in bicubic. Yeah. Um, what is your 250 to 300 helps with that? Yeah, when I'm actually measuring out uh like a size, like if I draw a comic page, I want needs to be certain dimensions. I usually do 300 or even 400 DPI. Um, for these drawings, I'll often just do a 2000 square or 2048. I'll have to look up the differences between bilinear and bicubic again to figure out exactly what I want it to be for different things. But yeah, most of the times I'm drawing pictures, especially if it's for my own interests, and it's not necessarily going to be like closely inspected or printed or anything. I just default to around like a screen size. So a lot of times I'll just do a normal 1080 screen. I don't actually need to be drawing my pictures in 4K. Where was I? I had just drawn his eyes, so I think. Bicubic is best for pixelation over 300 DPI. Okay. Good to know. So the setting is either or. Gotcha. So actually, if nothing else, maybe just for colors, I'm gonna turn that off while I grab a picture of a anglerfish. There's so much AI in here. It makes me so sad. Okay, and the actual image I was referencing here was just the Animal Crossing one. Does that save? I don't know. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I did save, so while I'm here, what are good colors for the merman? Thinking of making them very pale. Almost like a bluish squid colors. Maybe. And that one I feel like I can have an easier time eyeballing. Alright. Speaking of Animal Crossing, time to charge my Switch. Oop. Oop. Nope. Nope. Do that. Bring it back. Take that. Rewind it back. Alright. So the background, that's not what I want. What am I doing? Background color. Thinking of making like a deep ocean blue kind of thing. Alright, want like barely any saturation. Very dark. If any saturation. So can add another layer. Start adding some colors. With a more stable brush. Should probably just use the round brush, but oh well. Yeah, we'll just do the other guy's skin on top. So how else we all been doing today? Surviving is good. Day hasn't started yet, to be honest. It's a little after 4:15 in the morning. Oh, it is early for you, isn't it? I hope that's just when you're starting your day. Like, I hope you got some good sleep. Eh, my day has been okay. Just a little slow at work. I went to bed too early. I did the opposite. I stayed up way too late. So I'm actually lucky it was a slow day because I was not entirely all there at work, to be honest. Probably doze off again around 7-ish. That's nice. Oh, what else do I want? I want to get a little bit of a soft brush in here. I probably shouldn't be worrying about shading this early, but I don't take my stream art too seriously, so I just kind of do what I want. And actually, I think this is a similar color I would want for his tail. Although, no, yeah. Best way to go about things, I'd wager. Yeah. It's great when you realize you can just do whatever you want. No one's waiting on or paying for this, so I'm not entitled to any rules except what makes me feel good. I am still drawing on the shading layer. I am going to make a separate layer for the merman. The merman. Or is that his name? His name's Merman. And Merman is very pale. Doesn't exactly get a lot of natural light down here. Well, not a lot of natural sunlight anyway. Alright, we got a gap somewhere. In the top half. Okay, around the... Is it right there? Is it that one? Nope. There we go. Maybe I'll make it a little bit more blue. Okay, that's not what I want. And the fish's teethies are gonna be a little bit yellow. Now this song is the only reason I probably have to separate the music. Being the Tantalus theme from Final Fantasy IX. All the rest of the music on this playlist is actually done by my brother, and I'm fairly confident he's not going to sue me. Yeah. Yeah, no. One of the best songs on the track, I'll have you know. Whoop. Forgot that's all the same layer. Do that manually. Ah, tenders. Thanks for feeding Kino. He does enjoy his little treats. Hello, hello. How have you been? Miss Tandercia? Just came back from a late dinner? Well, that sounds delightful. Good food is always an amazing thing. I'm assuming it was good food. At some point, I'll come late. Ooh. Okay, yeah. That is good food. That is very good food. I was also gonna say, with the whole treat for Kino thing, I did have an idea to, at some point, try to set up a whole, like, happiness system. Where I have a little bar of how content he is, and when he gets a treat that goes up and it slowly goes down over stream, and you can lift it back up. I'd have to figure out in any way how I'm gonna do that. I'm mainly just using Mix It Up now, and it's probably technically possible to do something with, like, custom coding in there and files and things, but I'll have to think about it. Doing a drawing challenge? Yes and no. So on my Blue Sky, usually over the weekend, it's like Sunday or so, I'll put out a prompt just saying, hey guys, give me words or ideas of what I should draw. And then I'll do an art stream later in the week. I think I'm settling on Tuesdays, seem pretty comfortable. And I'll just do a drawing in 2 or 3 hours, however it turns out, of whatever themes people give me. So this one was a deep sea. There was also Seafoam. I was thinking of trying to incorporate that somehow into the merman, giving him, like, thin wafting, like, bubbly fins or something, kind of as a Seafoam theme, but we'll see where that gets. I don't think I need this picture anymore, actually. Actually, I might use this color. Hear about Kingdom Hearts 4. There isn't going to be an official release date, but they just announced it was going to come out late 2027. That's fun. Oh man, I've played some of the Kingdom Hearts games casually. I think I probably played like half of them, maybe. So I'm kind of hit or miss on keeping up with the story. Asura Coco is one of the. I did see that Coco, and that one looks really awesome. Specifically, I saw someone do a meme, comparing like Olympus to Coco. So they're technically, both the underworld and the afterlife. One of these looks more fun though. Wait. This isn't gonna work the way I want it to. I know based on the Star Destroyer shoutout that Star Wars is going to be in Kingdom Hearts for sure. But I wonder which. Yeah, that is interesting, though, tying in Star Wars, because that's just. It's like the first. What the term you use? It's like the first non-first party that they use. One that's under a different company that they happen to have. Which feels like it would just open the floodgates to everything else. Are they going to put the MCU into this as well? And the flat colors are coming along decently. If I could do this right. Okay. Maybe. This isn't turning out the way I want. Okay. So what I want to do is cut out this area. And then, I guess, over here, I'll draw out the normal white. The music stopped again. I thought I told you to loop. I said loop. Feels like they're very afterlife heavy between 4 coke. Sorry, my chat screen is in weird. Between heavy with 4 between Coco Quadratum and Hades getting referenced. Wonder what direction they're heading towards. I don't know, probably very dark and spooky, mysterious, you know, soul and nobody kind of stuff. Alright, now on this other layer. Come on. Gonna paste that back in. Ooh, and actually that blue behind the rim might actually work. Nah, but to work with stuff, I think I'm gonna have to get rid of it. I can add it back in later. And we're in an ad break. Been in an ad break. Apologies. Even though you can't actually hear me at this point. Actually, if it's gonna be blind, what we really want to do is just get a thin outline. Break was pretty sure. Well, that's good. That's good. I want to match like the same shape as the eye, so it's pretty straight ahead. Then with the shading, add a little bit of soft brush. Or in this case, we can probably add a fairly decent amount of soft brush. Because this time he actually is blind. Which is why I'm always afraid my character characters look like when I add too much shine. So what if I took that, maybe even a little bit more yellow? To use as a shine. Eh. Anyway, I'm adding a little too much detail into that. I should get basic shading done before I try to render the eyes in a lot of detail. Although, like I said earlier on, and even here, I stayed up too late last night, so this might be a shorter one. I'm obviously not finished with what I have. I might work on it a little bit off stream tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. I felt like having the Tantalus theme in there was a fun little Easter egg. This one we're going to a little darker, a little bit more blue. Or maybe we do the other way around. With highlights, we should decide what color this light is going to be. And on an even higher level, if we just make it completely black, a little bit blue, and give this whole thing just like a vignette. Something like that. Okay, we can do this on a shading layer. This needs to be a very light. Or should it be a Okay, I also want to do something with this. I do want to give him more fins and things. But I can feel myself starting to get tired and lose focus. I think if I continue with it too much, I'm going to start taking more and more shortcuts, and it's just not going to end up where I want it to be. So I think we're at like the 2-hour mark. I think I might call it here. Oh, whoa. Whoa. Don't mind that. Am I still coming through? Yeah. That's what happens when you accidentally close your iPad while the screen capture is still running. Yeah, the computer wants a snooze too. Well, I think we made very good progress in just a couple hours. So, let's see who is online. There is always Cage Nightwind. He's a great guy. I feel like I raid Cage a lot, though. Do a lot of Cage and Fisani. Have I Can't Sealy and Exis Convera. I don't actually know how to say their name out loud. Kinevira? Might send you all to I Can't See. They do a lot of art. Looks like they're playing Fields of Mystery right now. A lot of my regulars I would most want to jump into, like a lot of you guys. Aren't usually streaming as late as I am, so it happens. Alright. Wait, all these people alive? Why was it not showing me all of these people? Driving by to say hi before bed. Hope you're having a good stream. It was a good stream. We're actually finding someone to raid out now. I'm gonna get to bed here soon myself. Okay, what am I doing? Alright. So, as always, for anyone stopping by, whether you came and hung out, came and left, came alert, came and talked, it's all good. We appreciate you. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and raid into wonderful I Can't See. And as always, if you want to drop in with the raid message, Tantalus stands with you. I feel like I should get a raid emote. I have some ideas, but I'll have to get them commissioned. You can just send that or whatever mixture of emotes you want. But as always, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.